Okay, part 2, we're reading the DSM-5 criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. We left off on lack of empathy. So I want to give some good examples of lack of empathy with a narcissist. A dismissive avoidant is still going to have empathy, even though it's hard for them to be vulnerable and to be super intimate in certain moments. So it may appear that they don't have empathy at all, but they really do. When something bad happens to you or when you are feeling upset, they feel that, they hurt for you, they do care. But it's very difficult for them to show that because they are so afraid of vulnerability. But they might try to show you that they care in other ways. Like maybe they'll make you dinner. Maybe they'll have a hard time like responding to you if you're crying about something that happened, but maybe afterward they'll make you dinner or something to show like, hey, I do care, I am listening. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, someone who has NPD, they do not care and they really, really lack empathy. Some narcissists have cognitive empathy, so they are able to understand why you might be feeling the way you are, but they don't have emotional empathy, so they don't actually feel what you're feeling. Here's a great example. When I was dating the narcissist, I was at work one day and I found out some really bad news about my older sister. I found out that she had cancer and I was really upset. And I was dating the narcissist at the time. Obviously, he was my partner. So I texted him at work and I said, oh my God, I just found out my sister had cancer. I'm really upset. He responds, why are you texting me at work? And I was like, what? So I was like, I'm texting you at work because I stepped aside for a minute to deal with this very awful information that I just heard. Work is not busy right now. Like, I'm just letting you know I'm in pain right now. This is a very hard thing to hear. And I'm just letting you know you're looking for some kind of empathy from your partner, right? And he says, well, if you really cared, you would have called me instead of texted me. And so I respond saying, that makes absolutely no sense. I do not know what you're talking about. Why aren't you able to empathize with this situation? It's very hard information to hear that my own sister has cancer. How do you not understand that? He responds, that sucks. Life is shitty. So that is what it's like to be with a narcissist. The next one, envy towards others or belief that others are envious of them. Very, very, very common with narcissists. Oftentimes, if you are in a romantic relationship with a narcissist, they are incredibly jealous of you and they are in competition with you the entire time. And the way that they show that they're jealous of you is they will constantly belittle you and put you down. You are not allowed to have talent. You are not allowed to have success. You are not allowed to have achievements. Anytime anything good happens to you, they will bring you back down. I once got in trouble by the narcissist. He literally yelled at me because I got a new job. One time, my narcissistic ex was making like this collage. He used to do these collages. And I was at his house with him and I said, hey, can I make one with you? That sounds fun. And he goes, no. And I said, why? And he goes, because yours will be better than mine. He was more of a covert narcissist. So he had this deep inadequacy underneath. And so he was very envious of other people. Like any of his friends who had bands, he would buy their albums and we would listen to them together and then he would criticize it. Other types of narcissists, though, who are like more grandiose or malignant, they have this thing where they think that everybody is jealous of them all the time. Everybody wants to be them. And the last one, arrogant, haughty behaviors and attitudes. This one really speaks for itself. We all know this type of person. I can't stress to you guys enough how different of an experience it was being with a dismissive avoidant as opposed to a narcissist, because I've been with both. I was with the narcissist for 5 years. I was with the dismissive avoidant for almost 2. When you are with someone who has NPD, it's constant abuse, constant. Like it never ever ends. Every single thing they are trying to control. Every single thing that you do, they are belittling you. They are humiliating you. They are making fun of you. They are coming up with weird ways to make you feel crazy about your behavior. If I called my ex and said, hey, my mom is about to be here to pick up my daughter, I might be 5 minutes late, he would say, forget it, don't come over. Then he would turn his phone off for the rest of the weekend. I now have my dog, Darla, right? But when I was with the narcissist, she was both our dog. And I remember one time he was taking care of her. I couldn't have her where I was living at the time. So he was taking care of her and I would see her when I would go to his place. And one time he and I got in a fight and he told me that he was going to go drop her off at the dog pound. Every single thing I did was a reason why I was an attention-seeking WHORE. I remember one time I posted a picture of me fully clothed, sitting crisscross applesauce with my guitar. It was just a normal picture. It wasn't anything, you know, like OF type or anything. It was just a normal picture. I got fucking reamed for that picture. Why would I be showing my pussy off in pictures? I just want guys to come fuck me. All these things. Disgusting. And it was constant. One time he and I were at a show and I had my coat on my shoulders, right? Well, it fell behind me. And there was a man at the show behind me who saw that my coat fell. So he picked it up and he put it on the back of the chair that was behind me. And he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, "Hey, I just picked up your coat, just letting you know." And I said, "Oh, thank you." I got fucking reamed for that. Oh my God. He told me, "I want to fuck that guy. Why are you so nice to strange men? What, you just want them to come fuck you?" All these things. It was like literally, if a man even looked in my direction or talked to me at all, I was this huge attention seeking, you know what, never ending. I used to stop at Fred Meyer and rent a movie from Redbox because he only had like a DVD player at the time. I used to rent a movie from Redbox before I would come over to his house. And he would do this thing where when I would come over, I would say, "Hey, I rented blank." And he would do this thing where he had pretended that he had already seen the movie and didn't like it, just so he could make me feel bad about renting it. When I would try to eat anything at his house, he would tell me I was eating it wrong, I was doing it wrong, I shouldn't eat so much, I'm a little piggy. He told me that the medications I have to take for my mental illness and addiction means that I'm still a junkie and what, oh, I'm going to the hospital now to go meet my drug dealers. Here's some examples of texts he sent me that I saved. I said, "You've just run out of defenses. Like I said, your perfectly crafted web of abuse tactics is being unraveled." He says, "A blank gets paid for showing and using her body. You give it away for free." When COVID just started, I was trying to be nice. He didn't have a car, so I was just trying to be nice. And I said, "Want to go for a drive or something? I do have to go to a store at some point to get some Excedrin. You can just say no. Have a good day." I was being super passive aggressive. He says, "Why would you want to go out for a drive with anyone? That's pretty selfish. Seriously. You should be staying at home and staying the fuck away from everyone." Here's an example of the weird movie thing that he would do. One time I sent him a link to a movie I had just seen, and I said, "If you haven't seen this yet, watch it." He says, "Saw it. Not a good movie. It's after 10, and he woke me up." He had made this rule just like halfway through our relationship where I could no longer text him after 10 p.m. I wasn't allowed to. Here's a classic. I said something like, "Then you get mad at me later in private." And he said, "Everyone has seen you naked anyway, so yeah, whatever. I'm over your BS. I'm over your constant need for outside attention and validation. I'm over you acting like you don't know what you're doing and saying, 'I don't know what you mean.' So much bullshit." I wasn't doing anything. I can't even explain to you. Like, this was a number of years ago. I didn't have OF. I didn't have anything back then. I was so devoted to this man. I was so fucking trauma bonded to him. All I wanted was just to be around him. I was literally so caught in the abuse cycle. I didn't even have a single fucking thought in my mind about another man. This one. I said, "I love you very much, but I'm not sure you feel the same, and I do not feel loved at all by you." And he says, "No, I'm not feeling better, but thanks for asking." Never in a million years would my dismissive avoidant ex have sent me anything like that. Anything even close. My dismissive avoidant ex was so kind to me. He only ever sent me nice things. Yes, he did start pulling away. He did get distant. Those things did happen, but he was not a mean person. He was not a cruel person. He didn't play games with me. He just has avoidant attachment. That's all I can say. It's so much different than being with a narcissist. You guys, I cannot even begin to explain how different it is. If you had an experience like the one in this video, you may have been with a narcissist and not just with a DA, okay?